So let me tell you about the time I almost gave up on this YouTube journey and why I decided to flip the script and keep going. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Charles, also known as Arlo. I would be rebranding myself this year, 2026, because I have been honestly falling off. I set goals for myself the whole year, trying to keep going, try to keep recording, try to shoot more videos, try to record, basically do the whole 9 yards. But I recently had to ask myself this 5 questions. You need to stick around for the 5 questions, and then you need to use it to apply it in your own life to see how it benefits you, if it does, and if it doesn't, then you could go from here. So what inspired me to start my YouTube journey and how it evolved? I would say for me it was pretty simple. I did art. I still do art. I am an artist. I am now doing tattoos. And I'm also a nurse. So I felt like my life was stagnant at some point. I think 2016, I decided to start a YouTube channel about 10 years ago. It never took off because I wasn't consistent. I'm not gonna lie. I have the hardest time being consistent. Most of you who know me, you know that. And if you don't, I have been trying to hold myself accountable to it now. I did see a couple growth here and there, things like that. So that's why I actually went into, so basically what I found out about myself is the fact that I tend to push everything aside and give one thing my all, but then something else comes up and all of a sudden it's almost like I forgot about the other thing. Like it happens. What inspired me to start my YouTube channel, I would say people like John O'Dry, who is a hyper realistic artist. He actually is a very, very big factor in the reason why I kind of started, because honestly I watch his videos for the drawings and for the audio parts, and I kind of liked the style. Then came, well, for me, then came Gox, who I fell in love with his videography style and how he would take simple edits and make it into something massive, something great, something big, something you want to be a part of. And then I, basically just turned it into my own thing. And I also took inspiration from people like Agent Prayer, who kind of educates people and stuff. So honestly, I think the reason why I never stopped would be the fact that I saw myself, or I see myself as someone who could be of impact to some people. I don't know who it is, but you're out there, and I know you're out there, and I'm here to help if I can, as much as I can. I'm not saying I'm the best, but you get what I'm saying. So, there's this thing, right? For me, growth is scary, or was scary, because I did kind of like grow a following on Insta. I remember posting one thing one day and all of a sudden it was just there. Like, not to say it like it was easy, but after posting for a while, and then one day I posted something random and it just blew up. You never could tell what exactly could help you or could bring up some good things for you. You never could tell. You don't know what it is. It could be the video you never even put time into. It could be something that you put 1,000,000,000 hours in and then never worked out, things like that. So like the growth for me kind of scared me and made me a little hesitant, because I was very or I am very when it comes to talking to person, I'm very, very like, hey, how you doing, very extroverted. But when it comes to talking to the camera, I feel like I still need to learn how to stop being rigid, and how to put my words together and not just ramble off. So when I noticed I started growing, it kind of scared me a little bit to pull back, like, okay, now I'm reaching more people than just the friends I know on a daily, or I'm reaching more audience than people I ever imagined, so it kind of made me into this kind of guy where I was just like, okay, I see myself as a micro creator, I would say, but I'm not consistent enough, or I wasn't consistent enough to do it. So now I'm actually making this video today to basically make myself or hold myself accountable for that. You share a moment when you seriously considered quitting and what changed your mind. A moment I considered quitting. So as you all know, I work in the medical field, right? And working in the medical field, basically during COVID was when I really sat down and I was like, I need to do something else besides nursing. I need to do something else besides working in the medical field. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go into it. I'm going to go into YouTube. I'm going to go into creation. I'm going to go into something that, I could just be myself. Then I went ahead and just went crazy about like FX30, about A7S2. I started holding myself up to just gadgets and stuff like that because I'm like, yeah, I need the gadgets to be able to do it. And then when I started seeing that the results weren't coming from the gadgets or I'll post a video that I spent hours and hours and hours in, and it would not flourish. It would not have anything to show for it. It just looked like trash, or like because my editing skill wasn't as high or high enough to reach a certain level, or to to match those of the people, or the people I see as like the top creators in MySpace, not MySpace the app, like I'm saying my creative space. Like Sam Does Art, I love him so much. I love Sam Does Art because every time I try to put out a video, when I watch his videos, I think about it because I'm like, yes, this, things like that. So people like that really changed my mind. I'll say big influences to the way I create, or the way I see things, the way I want to move forward. Or like I said earlier, Jono, Gox, and a couple people I met this last year. They're called the Creative Run Club. I'm not gonna lie, one of the craziest people I ever met in my life, but they're really amazing. They're all students, or they were students at the time of recording. Most of them graduated already, but they really do push. It was a collective, or it is a collective of like these creative human beings who just go after goals and just push through everything that every obstacle that could have stayed in the way, or that could have came through in some kind of way. I did meet a lot of people along the way, and I just kept, anytime I think I want to quit, anytime I think about it and I sit down, I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting the results I set up for myself. I basically just felt like quitting. But every time I would try to quit, one of them would call me and I'm like, hey, have you done this? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? And it really helps. So like, you need to learn going into this, you need to know like you always have someone there. You always have someone for you. You always have someone there for you to actually look back at, or someone who is willing to be there and pull you up when you need help, or someone who would be there to call you out when you're slacking. You need those kind of people. And then you also need to remember, like, you need to set realistic expectations for yourself. Sometimes I think 2024, late 2024, 2025, early 2025, I set a goal of me reaching about, I think it was 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I did reach it. I'm not gonna lie, and I was happy. I'm not gonna lie, I was very happy. I was jumping. I was like, yeah, this is crazy for me. Honestly, this content may not be the kind of content I usually post, but I'm doing a transition into my more art style content, which is initially why I, started this channel. Not gonna lie, I'm scared, but I was scared initially, and then that stopped me from doing anything. But now I'm back here. I'm here. I want to do this. Like, let's go. It's gonna be hard for me because I have a lot of work, but I also have a lot of work that I want to put out. I have a lot of work that I need to bring up, things like that. So that's what's changed my mind. Basically, I set like expectations for myself that I want to crush, and I don't want to fail myself every year. I don't want to be that guy who keeps failing every year saying, oh yeah, you're gonna make it, but then how am I gonna make something when I'm not putting time? How am I gonna make it when I'm not putting time into it? You get what I'm saying? Look, going all in, I'm still gonna work as a nurse. Like, I'm still gonna have that job. I'm not gonna stop that. But moving forward, I like people to know, like, well, I hope you guys understand, I am quitting the whole funny business. I want to be taken more seriously. I want to be able to post my artwork and have people enjoy it. I'm trying to reach out to the art communities as well, so that way people can understand, because art was something that really brought me joy, and I kind of felt like I have been falling away. So I'm trying to merge art and videography together to make one whole thing, like to make my own stuff, to make my own world. And I know it's not going to be easy, but I know I have you guys who have been here for me even when I haven't posted in a long time. You guys still stayed. I want to thank all of you for that, by the way. It's amazing to have you guys. Look, my piece of advice to anyone who's feeling hesitant, it doesn't have to be on YouTube, it could be anywhere, to whatever you want to do. You need to remember, you only live once, right? I know you hear that a lot. I know it's cliche. I hear that a lot. Like, I get it. But you only live once. There are things you need to do to be able to call yourself who you are. Or there are things that you need to do to make yourself, I don't know if that makes sense. Basically, like, you need to create the world you want to live in, not the world you live in already. You need to create the world you want. You need to create the way you need, or the way you need to succeed. Basically, you need to create the world you want. I know it sounds very cliche, I get it, but when I used to hear this, I would be like, oh yeah, another person telling me this, but it's the truth. Because honestly, so far I've tried to put everything on gear. I've tried to start like posting more. I've tried to be more engaging. I'm trying to talk to more people. I'm trying to reach out to more clients. I'm trying to reach out to more friends. I'm trying to get an audience. I'm trying to grow a community. And seeing all this, or knowing all this, has made me know that you could do it. Hesitation is only going to stop you from getting to your goal. If you set a goal, your first goal should be very realistic. Set a goal of 10 subscribers if your journey is YouTube. Set a goal of selling one drawing if your goal is art. Set a goal of passing your NCLEX if your goal is nursing. Set a goal of anything you set. Basically, make it one step, like take it one step at a time. Make sure you take it one step before you move on to another thing. Like, basically, you get what I'm saying. You got this. I got this. We all got this together. If any of this resonates with you, or if any of this resonates with you, or if you just feel curious to see where this journey goes, I would love to have you along in this ride. So hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, let me know what you feel, what you want to see, because I honestly have a lot of videos coming out this year. I've been saying this for a while, but I'm pulling the plug on most of the things now. So drop a comment on this video, let me know. You can share it to people that you feel like need to hear this message, you know, and let's do this together. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.